the screen. She's a straight shooter, if you know what I mean. Dishing out the truth about the royal scene with a fist of fire and a voice so keen. Hitting hard with those ultra Brit vibes, no sugarcoating the false alibis. Tearing down the lies she despises. Yorkshire lass with fire in her eyes. Stef don't play, she holds the line. Shouting from the rooftops across the digital vine. Harry and Meghan under her sign. Fearless and bold with a soul that shines. See a fake, she's a beacon bright, unraveling the drama without a fright. Armored with honesty, ready to fight. Injustice quivers at her sight. Unbreakable will won't be confined. Mind of steel and heart redefined. Rhetoric sharp, leaving dust behind. In Stef's world, truth is intertwined. Stef don't play, she holds the line. Shouting from the rooftops across the digital vine. Harry and Meghan under her sign. Fearless and bold with a soul that shines. Will won't be confined. Mind of steel and heart redefined. Rhetoric sharp, leaving dust behind. In Stef's world, truth is intertwined. Stef don't play, she holds the line. Shouting from the rooftops across the digital vine. Harry and Meghan under her sign. Fearless and bold with a soul that shines.
Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef, the alternate, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Daily Nerd Live Sunday edition. How y'all doing? How has your weekend been? Oh my goodness, do I have a jam-packed show for you tonight. Shall we get through it? Oh yeah, let's do so. So, for Sunday, the 7th of September 2025, what have I got for you guys today? Well, the main topic that we're leading on, yeah, it looks like Meghan has are begging King Charles to rejoin the royal family. Looks like money's running out after all the Netflix and brand Sussex failures over the last few years. We're going to jump into that. And then the second story after that, Prince Has's hidden plan to return the kids to the UK and what this actually means for Megxi. Oh yeah, we're going to get into that. Then the third topic for today's live stream, Megxi and Hazza have triggered a diplomatic nightmare inside the Jamaican Prime Minister's panic call to King Charles. What the deuce is going on? We're going to get through that in the third topic for today's live stream. And then the fourth one, guys, well, that is entirely up to you. The bonus Hazza and Megxi story. How do you guys get to unlock it? Well, only if you can, of course. If we get 10 super chats in the next hour, then you guys get to unlock the bonus Hazza and Megxi story for today's live stream. And this one, ooh, this is a little bit of a romantic triangle. Yes, we've got in one corner a Megxi, in another corner a Hazza, and then in the third corner, Chelsea Davy. Oh, yeah. Some new tea has come to light. Megxi's not happy. What the deuce is going on? Well, to find out, and only if you can, of course, please do contribute to today's Super Chat goal to unlock the bonus Hazard and Megsy story for today's live stream. And that is what is coming up for Sunday, the 7th of September, 2025. For those watching on the replay, fast forward 5-10 minutes and I will have started the first topic for today's live stream. A little bit of housekeeping though, for all you leaders that have just come across from the leader only stream that just finished literally a couple of minutes ago. Kind of going through this again, but you guys got to know first. For everyone else, next week, there are going to be no live streams at all. I'm actually going to be in London to report on the Unite the Kingdom's free speech rally. I'm going to be on the ground reporting live on Political Nerds, my second channel, as we fight to take back our country and freedom. Of course, in a peaceful and democratic way. But even though, yes, I do feel it is important to give you the Hazard and Megsy news and push back on the narrative that they want out there that I consider to be completely false and misleading. Yeah, next week in London is much more important than the gruesome twosome. We're literally now fighting for our freedom. We're fighting for our culture. We are fighting for our country. We are fighting for our freaking flag. You think I am over-exaggerating? Sadly, I am not at all. We are now living under a Labour dictatorship. And I don't say that lightly. So, yeah, next week's rally, I do consider extremely, extremely important for me to get to. So, that's that. Now, in the meantime, investment into the alternate universe and the channels continue. I still have my eye on that Elgato webcam that I mentioned to you guys a couple of weeks back. However, again, I did let the leaders know in the last hour, but for the rest of you guys now to know, this has come up that I think is actually currently more important for me to get for the channels. It's the Netgear Nighthawk 5G mobile router, so no matter where I am in the world, I'm still going to be able to stream. So, for example, when I'm in Italy, because unfortunately at the moment, if you guys haven't noticed, I'm pretty much back and forth due to my old granddad. The village that I go up to where my family live in the mountains, it's pretty remote. And even though where my family is, they do have the internet, what they have is pretty much the equivalent of the old-fashioned dial-up connection. Very slow and really not of good use. And even if you try and think of streaming, it's just not going to happen. So I've just found out from a mate of mine only a couple of hours ago that this kind of mobile travel internet router, wherever you are in the world, actually exists. And for me, I definitely think we need it in our lives for the alternate universe. And so, as you guys know, I've already in recent weeks made big investments in my vlogging equipment, as I've shown you guys in this community post here. So the investment into my channels does continue as always. So again, as I always am, being completely 100 with you, any of your kind super chats that you do send my way. The next thing on the hit list now for the studio is this. The Elgato webcam is still on the list, but this has just gone right to the top, guys. Right to the top. I think it's going to solve a lot of problems that I'm having when, unfortunately, I'm out of the country, having to visit my family. Hopefully with this thing, I'll be a lot more hands-on, whether I'm here in the studio, whether I'm in Italy or anywhere else in the world, guys. And hopefully then we don't miss out on any further live streams that I've had to cancel because I've been out of the country. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So, yeah, that's that. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention, and I feel a little bit awkward mentioning it, but some of you guys have asked about it recently in my DMs, and actually one of you has emailed about it. This thing of an Amazon wish list. Now, I did have one in the past, and I kind of like stopped it in the end. But some of you guys have messaged me as I've been, you know, open about the equipment I'm currently investing getting into the studio. You can tell how awkward I feel right now. I'm messing up what I'm saying here. But yeah, because over recent weeks, you know, there's been equipment I've identified to buy, to invest and get back into the studio, this, that, and the other. A couple of you guys have messaged me saying, well, hang on a minute, what about your Amazon wish list? I've not really set one up yet, or set it back up yet, should I say. But if you guys want me to set one up for the studio, by all means, send me a quick message. Let me see how many out of you want me to do it. I don't know. I've only had a couple right now, so I've not really set one up. But if enough of you ask for it, I'll set one up. If not, that's absolutely fine. No drama at my end, you know what I mean? But I just kind of wanted to address that bit as well, because a couple of you have contacted me about that. So again, for the spirit of openness and honesty and all that malarkey, that's that. However, with your super chats at the moment, this is now currently the aim for the new equipment into the Alternate studio. So that's that. In the meantime, my goodness, wow. Jessie581, thank you so much for gifting one leadership to one of you lucky lots out there. So everyone say, hey up to our newest leader, courtesy of Jessie581. And she actually responded to Carol Malik, who gifted initially the first gifted leadership for today's live stream. And that only means one thing, guys. My goodness, today's gifting wars have already officially begun. So thank you so much to Carol and Jessie for kicking off today's gifting wars. Extra special thanks to Carol for sending that very generous $4.99 sugar book, saying to get this party started for your future investment on your equipment. Well, thank you so much for that. Also as well, major thanks again, Jessie581. Double thanks to you, my love, saying towards your equipment, Stef. Thank you so much for that very kind $2.99 sugar box. Thank you as well to Lisa Boo. Lisa Boo, hey up. Lovely to have met you finally in the last leader only stream. Appreciate your face. Saying, let's get this goal done, guys. I love ya. Aw. Thank you so much for the $2 sugar bucks. We've got General in the chat. Hey up, General. How's it going? Thank you so much for my favourite. Yay, Virgin Doggy Fighting Arts moment. I love it, love it, love it. For those that don't know, this is my favourite super chat sticker. Why? Because it's a ginger doggy and there's hearts coming from the tail. When you lift the tail from the doggy, what's directly underneath the butthole? Therefore, this is a ginger doggy fighting arts moment. You'll never be able to ever unsee it ever again. You're very welcome. That's why it's my favourite super chat sticker ever. But please be aware, guys, super chat stickers still do not count towards a super chat goal. I don't know why. That's a YouTube thing. That's not a me thing. That's a YouTube thing. So, yeah, just bear that in mind. Sarge says, hey up, Georgie and Olivia say hi. Oh, hey up, Georgie and Olivia, you cute pooches. Teresa Jones, thank you so much for your continued support for the leadership. Saying, hey, Stef and family, glad you made it home safely. Prayers for you and your family. Sending love from the great state of Texas. Thank you. Yeah, I made it home safely, but as soon as I got home, my goodness, I came in. I had a stonking headache, and I don't know why. I kept myself hydrated because I was travelling. You know, I had a bottle of water on me constantly, all that malarkey. But, yeah, I still came home with like a stonking headache. Beats me why that happens. Rosemary Atado, thank you so much for that $10 sugar buck, saying, how can they be allowed back? They can't allow it. They'll betray them as soon as Charles agrees. I'll be so angry, and I'm from the US. Oh, seriously. We're going to get into it in a moment. Prepared to get even angrier. Shaz, thank you so much for the $2 sugar buck, saying, now I'm intrigued. Oh, yeah. It's an interesting one. Torchwood Girls, thank you so much for the $2 sugar buck, saying, looking forward to you reporting live next week. Thank you. It's an important one. It really, really is. Probably one of the most important live streams I'll ever do. Elizabeth King, thank you so much for that very generous $10 sugar buck, saying, save UK free speech and off daily fail. USA is with you. Thank you. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys. I've got quite a few friends, luckily, in America, and they're all pretty much saying the same thing. What the F? Some of them are actually telling me to get the hell out of the UK and just stay with them or just stay somewhere else. Just get out of the UK for a while. No, I'm not going to do that. I need to stay here. I need to add to the fight as far as I'm concerned. So there we go. Dallas says, Steph, why do you all call the Sussex squad sugars for $2 sugar bucks? So, does someone in the chat want to just explain it to Dallas? Just, yeah, I'll leave it to the chat. I call them the morons. For good reason, they're morons. General Scott, hey up, General, how's it going? Saying Amazon wish list, Amazon wish list. Oh, am I setting one up, guys? I feel a bit awkward, but like I said, a couple of you guys have already messaged me about it, so we'll see. We'll see. General Scott also saying bonus story. We need the bonus story. Okay. My goodness. Wow, you guys are coming in thick and fast with these sugar bucks. Wow, thank you so, so much. This is all definitely helping towards investing back into that piece of equipment I'm going to get next, that router. Stephen Magnus, thank you so much for the £5 sugar buck, saying, Steph, I'm going to send everyone an email about Meghan failing to trademark Frimfram. The TIG TMs are all owned by Frimfram LLC Delaware. Ooh, so if she can't trademark Frimfram, then what happens to all the TIG trademarks that are owned by Frimfram LLC where Frimfram isn't trademarked? Like, what the deuce is going on there? Huh, interesting. And a bit of an A up to everyone watching live on X, on my X profile at Stef Alternate. I see a couple of you guys already watching and lurking. Hey up, guys, how's it going? And I see some of you actually in the chat. Head mod Project Metal Music as ever, appreciate ya. Joshua Branwood, hey up. That dude does amazing photographs, I'll tell you that right now, says hello. Hey up, mate, how's it going? And we've got Belladine in here saying hey. Hey up, Belladine, thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate your faces. My goodness. We've got a few more thank yous before we kick into today's first topic. Jessie581 just saying, Amazon, presumably you for me setting up and promoting the wish list. Okay. MLS, hey up MLS, making law simple. Make sure you subscribe to him over on YouTube, saying, Steph looking good in white. Thank you. It's actually a new top that I got yesterday, so thank you so much, mate. And thank you very much for that generous $9.99 sugar box. Dude, when is that Lego war happening between me and that European Viking that I've got to kick ass on? Dude, I know life has got in the way a few times. I appreciate that, but we really need to sort that out now, I swear. I still have the thing downstairs, and I want to build it, and I want to build it whilst beating a European Viking. Like, I mean, come on. I already beat him once. I need to beat him again. I need to, you know, maintain my rep, okay, in the Lego war world. Yeah. I do spout some BS at times, don't I? But it works. So moving swiftly on. Tammy Joe, thank you so much for your continued support for the leadership. Lovely to have seen you as well on the Leader Only stream. Saying, Steph, take some of the money with your mum, as you said. You may get busted in London, and we would be happy to help you out. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, it's all agreed with the police and all that lot, this rally, and it's all set up correctly, blah, 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 blah. Is there a chance that I could be arrested still? Yeah, I mean, I could be arrested for hurty words on the internet. That's how effed up it is here in the UK at the moment. You have no idea. But I'm a citizen journalist going down to London to report on a rally. Simple as. If the police arrest me, I've just got more content to report on for you guys. Bring it. Chris Mills, thank you so much for that. Extremely generous. She's the freaking bad £50 sugar bucks. Guys, hearts in the chat for Chris Mills because this is insane. Saying, been watching all week and had to restrain myself. So glad you're home again. This is towards your kit. Thank you so much. That's very, very kind of you. My goodness, Ledge is in the chat. Hey up, Ledge. One of the proper OGs in the community saying, ooh, 4 years ago I joined. Wow. Yeah. Time flies when we're having fun, right, mate? Miss M, another one of the OGs. Thank you so much for the $3.99 sugar bucks, saying a little something towards your equipment. Thank you so much. Linda Thompson, thank you so much for that very, very kind $10 sugar bucks. And Teresa, hey up last, thank you so much for the $2 sugar bucks. And my favourite, Virgin Doggy Fatty Dance moment. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much. My goodness, we've already blasted through the super chat goal for today. So you've already unlocked the bonus Hazard and Megzy story. She's the freaking bed. Wow. Thank you so much, you guys. Extremely highly generous of you. I'm going to jump into the first topic for today's live stream now. Anyone else that sends super chat sticker, member only chats and whatnot, I'll get to you guys as and when I can as we go through the first topic for today's live stream. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry begging King Charles to rejoin the royal family after losing all their money. Yeah, I definitely can actually see this happening. So here we go. This is being reported by the Express in America. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry would consider huge royal opportunity from King Charles. Okay. So, according to Kristen Mainzer, Harry didn't want to completely surrender his senior royal duties. That was never part of the plan. We all know that at the Sandringham Summit, rumours are that he proposed a half-in, half-out situation, like Prince Edward and Duchess Sophie did back in like the 90s or something like that. Thing is, yeah, they did it with Prince Edward and Duchess Sophie, but guess what? It didn't work. So when Hazard asked for the same thing, of course the Queen was going to shoot him down. Because it's like, yeah, we already tried that and it failed, so screw you, we ain't going to do that again. Right? But check all of this out. So she says, Harry has repeatedly said that it was never his intention to completely surrender his senior royal duties. Even though in the statement when they announced Megxit, they turned around and they said, yeah, we're leaving the royal family and we're going to be completely independent private citizens, earning on our own, this, that and the other. Yeah, you can't have it both ways. You can't say, no, my intention was to completely come out of the royal family without, any financial links, this, that and the other. But then turn around years later and be like, well, that was never my intention. I always wanted to have a foothold in there and do something with them. Piss off, you ginger cow bag. Anywho, she then says, in a perfect world, he and Meghan would have been able to do what Edward and Sophie did earlier on in the marriage, pursue their own passions whilst also serving the crown. And this kind of highlights what I said earlier on, which is this. That was never going to work. Why? Because they already tried it with Prince Edward and Duchess Sophie and it didn't work. So when Azza came across with that proposal for him and Megxie, of course the royal family are going to shut it down. And say, hang on a minute, we tried that with Prince Edward and Duchess Sophie and it didn't work. So screw off. We're not going to make that same mistake again. Thank goodness they didn't do that. And so Mainzer then explains the Queen did not grant Harry and Meghan the same opportunity. Of course they didn't, as I just explained. Nor did the institution treat the racism Meghan faced with the seriousness it warranted. What freaking racism? There wasn't any. In terms of the amount that she is alleging. Not a freaking chance. Not a chance. The majority, right, of the headlines for Megxie when she was in the royal family was what she was saying, because a lot of what she was saying actually was quite revolutionary for a member of the royal family to say. And secondly, we were obsessed with what she was wearing and how she was, this, that, and the other. We wanted to copy her style, right? It was largely favourable for her, the coverage. It really, really was. At one point, she was more popular than Princess Catherine. There were reports coming in that Princess Catherine had to up a game because Meghan came into the picture. And she was outshining her at one point, this, that and the other. But no, of course, we have to recycle the old tropes. Megxie suffered from racism while she was in the royal family. And Hazard and Megxie were treated differently. Wah. Yeah, okay, whatever. Now, she then adds, but Charles is not his mother. As in, King Charles is not Queen Elizabeth II. And if he arranged for their duties to have both some flexibility and a great deal of safety, I think Harry and Meghan would certainly consider accepting the opportunity. In other words, right? A penny conspiracy theory, whatever. This is Megxie and Hazard begging King Charles at this point to rejoin the royal family with the half-in, half-out proposal they initially put on the table at the Sandringham Summit. I hope King Charles is his mother and he turns around and tells them to piss off. This is a thing, though. Why is this in the news? Why is this being made public? Why? It's Megxie and Hazard, right, as far as I'm concerned, putting their toe in the water and saying, hang on a minute, if there's any rumblings of us coming back into the royal family and being working royals, this, that, and the other, how do you think that'd all pan out in public? Yeah. You're not going to get that far, guys. You're really, really not. And why would they be putting this out in the first place? Isn't everything supposedly going well over at Montecito Royale? It isn't, is it? Think about it. The only way, right, that Hazard would even have the chance to return back to the royal family is if Megxie sanctioned it and wanted to come back too. So perhaps the grass wasn't greener on the other side in Hollywood after all, right? And it's not rocket science to believe this article right here, where it states that Prince William thinks that the potential meeting... Sorry, yeah, here we go. The Prince William thinks that the potential meeting between Hazard and King Charles is actually a bad idea. I think it's a bad idea for obvious reasons, really, at this point, don't you? And why am I saying that the money is running out for Hazard and Megxie now? Well, you know, they lost the $20 million Spotify contract, didn't they? The Netflix deal is being downgraded, which means less money from them there. The deal with Penguin Random Publishing House has gone quiet. Hazard and Megxie signed on to what, 3-4 book deal? The only book that they released was Spare, that was it. Now, same with Lemonada, that's all crickets as well. Megxie hasn't announced a second season of Confessions of a Female Flounder. What the deuce is going on there? Megxie has also recently shot down her Shop My store, and her As Ever drops aren't selling out. And so perhaps now we're seeing headlines of Hazard and Megxie essentially wanting to come back into the royal fold because money is running out and they are desperate. I've always said I see them as spending like billionaires when they're actually millionaires. Do you know what I mean? And you have this Radar Online article right here, yeah, confirming that their business empire is crumbling and they are bleeding money. And sources are saying that Prince Harry's motivation to allegedly meet with King Charles this month, September 2025, which, by the way, I don't think is true. I don't think that means ever going to take place, but whatever. This alleged meeting, sources are saying it's down to money and allegedly the lack of money he has now. Here's the headline. Prince Harry driven by the money. Exiled royal motivated to make amends with dying King Charles to receive financial support from the monarchy after suffering many business flops with wife Meghan Markle. And this is the thing, when you look at the alleged demands that Hazard wants King Charles to accept before this meeting even takes place, 2 out of the 3 demands, when you actually look into it, actually boils down to money. Demand number 1, Exhibit A, right? Harry is now adamant that he wants full security for himself, Megxie and their children, whilst in the UK, and it must be funded by the king. It ain't coming out of Hazard's pocket. No, it's coming out of the king's pocket. Excuse me. And you look at the second demand, Exhibit B, right? Here. The second demand from Harry involves an intriguing level of oversight regarding press activity. He's reportedly requesting that Buckingham Palace take charge of managing media interactions to shield himself and his family from invasive paparazzi. The insider noted that this request reflects a desire for a more controlled narrative around their visiting dynamics, saying, quote, "Press control coordinated by Buckingham Palace to keep paparazzi at bay is essential. This raises questions about the royal family's adaptability, when I could get my teeth back in, to modern media challenges and the balance between public engagement and personal safety." Yeah, doesn't Hazza and Megxie have their own office, their own PR people, their own spokespeople, spokespersons, whatever the frick you want to call them? What? They don't want to pay for that anymore? So they want to ride on the coattails of Buckingham Palace's press office and have Buckingham Palace, i.e. the King, pay for it instead, pay for their own PR and their own press office, this, that and the other. Well, I say, 2 out of these 3 alleged demands does actually boil down to money. And so now, coming around full circle here, all of a sudden we're getting reports that Megxie and Hazza are essentially begging, as far as I'm concerned, to return to the royal family, reviving this whole thing of that they want a half-in, half-out situation with the royals. And wouldn't you think it? All of this happening, that as far as I'm concerned, from my perception, what I'm looking at, money's running out, and they realise that their attempts to break Hollywood has actually failed. Because where is With Love Meghan in the charts again? Now, this is a thing. There is potentially a glimmer of hope, at least for Hazza to rejoin the royal family. But Megxie's not going to like it. I've reported on this the last couple of weeks, haven't I, guys? Prince William's ultimatum for Hazza. Prince William turning around and saying, allegedly, yeah, I'll consider you coming back into the royal family, but you've got to divorce Megxie first. Get her out of the picture, otherwise I don't want to know at all. Yeah, told you Megxie wasn't going to like that one. With that being said, those watching live, whether on YouTube or X, stay exactly where you are. We're going to get into the second topic shortly. Prince Harry's hidden plan to actually return Archie and Lily to the UK, and what that actually means for Megxie. What the deuce is going on there? We're going to jump into that in the second story for today's live stream. But if you haven't done so already, please do make sure you subscribe to join our Alternerd tribe here on YouTube. If you're watching on X, make sure you're following me at Stef Alternerd for more misadventures of the gruesome twosome. Like, share, comment down below if you're watching on the replay, your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's, and let's see what you guys in the live chat have been saying before we jump into the second topic for today's live stream. I have a few thank yous as well. My goodness, you guys have been amazingly kind. Thank you so much. Linda Thompson, thank you so much for the $10 sugar bucks. No message, but that's very kind of you. Thank you. Teresa Randall, thank you so much for the $2 sugar bucks. And my favourite, the Lucky Finance moment. I love it, love it, love it. And Lady Cammy of Maine is like, I see you, Teresa. I see you sending her a favourite super chat sticker, and I'm going to do it as well. So thank you as well, Lady Cammy of Maine, for also sending my favourite super chat sticker. Also as well, Shaz, thank you so much for being a continued leader for 29 months. My goodness, that is absolutely insane. Thank you so much for the support. Turning around and saying, if the king allows them to work, etc., say goodbye to the monarchy, because people will revolt, including me, who's a big royalist. They know, the royal family know the lay of the land. They know what's going on, and they know if they allow Hazza and Megxie to come back in, even as part-time royals, that's not going to end well for them, really, in the grand scheme of things. So, no, not happening. Bog off. Hazza and Megxie can beg all they want to come back into the royal family. I think it's going to happen anytime soon. I really, really don't. Sarai, thank you so much for your continued support for the leadership for the last 19 months. Saying, I know this milestone has been longer. I love you, Steph. I know it's been longer as well. Don't you worry about that, lass. Elizabeth King, thank you so much for another very kind super chat of $10, saying, waiting for the divorce only. That's what Netflix is waiting for sure, guys, for sure. The Ledge saying, Meghan Markle has already optioned her divorce book. Yeah, we already know. It's just, again, it's a matter of time. And Netflix knows as well, and so they're just waiting out for that now. And then that's it. She can then fade away into obscurity, and she's done. Lewis in the chat over on Nerd Report. Hey up, Lewis. How's it going, my friend? Everyone, make sure you subscribe to one of my big brothers, Lewis, over on Nerd Report on YouTube. You want to know anything nerdy? Dude's got the report for you, essentially. So there we go. Oh my goodness, Lewis, thank you so much for jumping in. The Big SM, thank you so much for the £2 sugar bucks, saying when Megzy was a nobody, she brought media PR. Yeah, but then if you believe the rumours out there, she didn't pay for them in the end. They were called Sunshine Sacks, and apparently she left with an outstanding bill that she allegedly didn't pay. All rumours. Do your own research, come to your own conclusions, but yeah. Somehow I believe that story. I wonder why. Oscar Badinsky. Hey up, Oscar, mate. Wow, 34 months indeed. That is a long time. Thank you so much for your continued support, mate. And Deb Palmisano. Hey up, Deb Palmisano. Thank you so much for that $2 sugar bucks and my favourite. The Ginger Doggy Finance moment. Love it. And my goodness, YouTube is saying that's your first super chat on a live stream. Guys, hearts in the chat right now for Deb, because this is their first ever super chat on a live stream. And so thank you so much for choosing me, this channel, this community, for the first time you send a super chat or super chat sticker. That is a big honor. So thank you so much. Very kind of you, Deb. Thank you. Rosemary Atado, my goodness, thank you so much for that very kind sugar bucks of $5, saying, how does one beg to come back and make demands to do so at the same time? It's mind-boggling. I know. But again, they'll then just turn around when the meeting doesn't go ahead and say, look, we put we made a couple of demands. We thought they were, very reasonable. And the family said no. And, we were like, we'll come back part-time and we'll work for you this, that, and the other. And they said no to that. And we tried this and they said no. And we tried this and we said no. And look, we're trying. And the royal family saying no at every corner and at every turn. And, they're evil and we're the victims. Look, we're trying and they're just not working with us. Wow. That, I think, is the point of all of this. It might be a conspiracy theory, whatever. With that being said, let's jump into the second story for today's live stream, because Prince Harry's hidden plan to return with Archie and Lily to the UK. Oh, yeah, that's now being reported on. What does this mean for Meghan Markle? Well, let's jump into it right now. Hey up, everyone, it's me, Stef, the alternate, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye. And oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this madness, shall we? Because it's being reported that Prince Harry's hidden plan to return Archie and Lily to the UK is now being reported on. What does this mean for Megzy? For Meghan Markle? Well, here's the article right here from the Daily Mail. Prince Harry is feeling really positive and he's so excited to come back to the UK, as it's revealed a meeting with King Charles is not off the table. Now, this is a thing, right? All of a sudden, I'm noticing there's this PR push to frame Harry's visit to the UK this month, which is September 2025, as positive. That has us really happy to return to the UK, even though he tried to argue earlier on this year that without the security he wanted, the UK was way too dangerous to visit. I mean, Colombia's fine, Nigeria's fine to visit, but the UK, oh no, he needs his security, right? Otherwise he can never come back. What a difference a few months make, right? Now all of a sudden he's really happy to return to the UK. Yeah, okay. Now, there are talks that Harry's hidden plan to return with Archie and Lily to the UK has now been exposed. Now, before we get to that, A source told Hello magazine, quote, that Hazard's so excited to come back to the UK. He's in a really good headspace. He's really looking forward to seeing everyone from his patronages face to face and focusing on the causes. He's really positive about coming back to do all the stuff that he loves doing. Currently, there's no specified window for a meeting with King Charles this month, i.e. September 2025. However, Mail on Sunday reported that should an invitation be extended, Hazard would drop everything to attend. The source saying, quote, a meeting with King Charles is not off the table, but the only people who would know about it are Clive Alderton, which is the King's private secretary, King Charles and Harry. If anything is planned, then he's keeping this extremely close to his chest. It certainly is part of his intention to see his father. If it's not on Wednesday, then he would make it work. Well, let's get to the Archie and Lily bit of it all, right, guys? Because, like I said, all of a sudden there's this PR push to frame Hazard's visit to the UK this month of 2025 September as positive. He's so happy to return, even though he tried to argue only a few months back that he needs that security for the UK because it's way too dangerous to visit this country, even though Colombia's fine and Nigeria's fine. I mean, who knew, right? Now, going one step further, oh yeah, Archie and Lily. He wants them now to come to the UK as well. What does this mean for Megxie? We'll get into that shortly. Here's the article from Daily Mail. Prince Harry wants to bring his children back to the UK and show them where he grew up. A friend has revealed that Hazard wants to bring his family back to the UK to show his children where he grew up, saying, quote, he's not given up hope on bringing his family back to the UK, they told The Times. He wants to be able to show his children where he grew up. He wants them to know their family here. He really would like to come back to the UK much more. So, what does this all mean for Megxie? Now, you might think, right, that Megxie would be horrified about her kids returning to a country that she's not particularly fond of, i.e. the UK, right? And to be fair, we in the United Kingdom particularly aren't fond of her either. So, you know, the feeling's completely mutual, right? However, the alleged narcissistic nutbag from hell might actually want to return to the UK and use the children as some PR ploy to try and make her more likeable to us Brits. Now, I'm just asking for a friend here, but in this scenario, right, could she be using the children as a ploy, leverage, or even as a form of blackmail to try and worm her way back into the royal family? Because, as it's being reported here, Hazard and Megxie allegedly would be happy to accept the King's invitation to be half in, half out royals, to be part-time royals, right? Yeah. If Megxie wasn't happy to return back to the royal family, at least part-time with Hazard, do you think this would be out in the press in the first place? Not a freaking chance. Not a freaking chance in hell. Guess what, though? I certainly agree with Prince William right here that this potential meeting, I don't think it's ever going to take place, between Hazard and King Charles for September 2025 is a terrible idea. Because any meeting between Hazard and the royal family is just another opportunity for Hazard and Megxie to snake their way back into the royal family. Prince William, though, thank goodness reports are saying is standing firm and isn't giving them any movement whatsoever on this. He's shutting them down every which way he can at the moment. Long may that freaking continue. With that being said, guys, those watching live, stay exactly where you are. I'm still not done with you guys yet, whether you're watching on YouTube or on X. We're going to get into the third topic in a moment. The Meghan Markle and Prince Harry has actually triggered a diplomatic nightmare. We go inside the Jamaican Prime Minister's panic call to King Charles. Yeah. Only Hazard and Megxie could trigger a diplomatic nightmare of these epic proportions. What the deuce am I talking about? Stay tuned. We're going to get into that in a moment. But if you haven't done so already, do make sure you subscribe to Join Our Alternate Tribe on YouTube. If you're watching on X, make sure you're following me at Stef Alternate for more misadventures of the gruesome twosome. Like, share, comment down below if you're watching on the replay, your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. With that being said, those watching live stay exactly where you are. But for those watching on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters. All right, and that was the second story for today's live stream. We're going to get into the third one in a moment. Just a couple of thank yous before we jump into it. Firstly, Jeannie. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that wonderful $4.99 sugar bucks. Appreciate your face. Thank you so much for that. And oh my goodness, it's Mr. Game Boy with the critical hit. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Yes, I'm a gamer nerd. I'm like a retro gamer nerd, may I add. So, yes, I love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much. Also, as well, my goodness, Chris Mills, thank you so much for that very kind £10 sugar bucks, saying the children are of DL surrogate. Klepto Meg's frozen eggs were not paid for. Yeah, I mean, I am of the opinion conspiracy theory, whatever, that Archie and Lily were not born of the body of Megsy, that they were born via surrogate. I totally believe that. In my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. And credit where credit's due, guys. A lot of the information and knowledge that I've got from these, we're going to have to say, alleged, fake pregnancies and all that lot, I have got from Meghan's mole. So she does have the PhD in moon bumpology. If you guys want to know a little bit more about that whole, conspiracy theory, whatever, but I'd say tune into Meghan's mole. She has the information on that, like, hands down, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I definitely believe, looking at all that's out there, she was wearing a moon bump as far as I'm concerned. But yeah. On that bombshell, guys, yes, let's jump into the third topic for today's live stream. And yeah, only Megsy and Azza could do this. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef the Alternate, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye. And oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this madness show, because only Megsy and Hazard could do this, right? Meghan Markle and Prince Harry seem to have triggered a diplomatic nightmare. Yeah, it's been reported that the Jamaican Prime Minister made a panic call to King Charles. Why did he do this? How is Megsy and Hazard involved? Well, let's take a trip down memory lane, shall we? Because if you remember, well over a year and a half ago, right? Megsy and Hazard made what some considered a surprise visit to Jamaica for the Bob Marley film premiere. It was definitely a surprise to me. What about you guys, right? And so, here is the picture in question, right? Hazard, Megsy, and there's the Jamaican Prime Minister, Andrew Holness. And so, well, it seems that the person most surprised at their attendance was the Jamaican Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, himself, right? Because, yeah, only 1 month after Hazard and Megsy gate crashed the Bob Marley film premiere, the Jamaican Prime Minister actually slammed them for drawing him into the royal family's internal issues in the first place, right? Here's the article from the Daily Mail. Jamaican Prime Minister pictured with Sussexes called the King to say they'd not told him they were coming. What the douche, right? And so the Jamaican Prime Minister was blindsided by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's visit to the Caribbean island nation last year, which left him in an awkward position with King Charles, it's being claimed. Teresa Roberts, Jamaica's ambassador for culture to the UK, told the Mail on Sunday that Harry and Meghan's surprise appearance at the premiere of Bob Marley biopic One Love caused a diplomatic dilemma for Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who feared that their attendance would be interpreted by the royal family as a political statement. She claims that the Jamaican Prime Minister had no idea that Harry and Meghan were planning to attend the event, and that the Prime Minister had felt compelled to make a phone call to Buckingham Palace to clarify that he had no prior knowledge of the couple being there. He all wanted to assure the King that the meeting was not prearranged and that there was no ulterior motive. Now, it's not clear whether the Jamaican Prime Minister spoke to the King directly or what response he actually received. But Mrs. Roberts told the Mail on Sunday, quote, the government were really annoyed about the premiere. They, Harry and Meghan, were invited to attend, but not by the Prime Minister. He became the centre of attention because it was said that he was cozying up with Harry and Meghan. That wasn't the truth. Somehow, they were photographed with the Prime Minister and he couldn't believe how much stick he got about being with Harry when he didn't invite them. The Prime Minister doesn't want to be involved in royal politics abroad. He wants to focus on business at home and didn't realise there was going to be a backlash. And, you know, she was at pains to state that the Jamaican Prime Minister had great respect for the King and didn't want to be caught up in the turmoil between Harry and Meghan and the palace, saying we all had to try to make it known to King Charles that it was not the case that the Prime Minister was cozying up to Harry. He did say he didn't expect to be caught up in that thing because he had nothing to do with it. And with Meghan's various allegations of racism or, as Harry puts it, unconscious biasness right in the royal family. I mean, what a load of bull, right, guys? Well, it's even more bull. Because here you've got Mrs. Roberts saying that she's met the King on several occasions, said there's no element of racism. It's quite the opposite. Those people wouldn't want to offend anyone in all the world. They're too nice. They'd die if they offended you. They wouldn't know how to be racist. This is a thing, guys, right? This news has only just come out, right, in the last 24 hours, right? Meghan and Harry are causing a diplomatic nightmare, diplomatic crisis, with the Prime Minister of Jamaica having to make a panic call to King Charles to turn around and say, I didn't invite Harry and Meghan to that Bob Marley film premiere. I was not cozying up with them in any way, shape or form. I'm Team Royal. They're idiots. I don't want anything to do with them. That's pretty much the gist of what I'm getting from this story. I mean, what do you guys think, right? This is a thing, though. I believe it. I believe this call took place. I believe everything Mrs. Roberts is saying in that article. Why? Because only 1 month after Harry and Meghan, that we now know, gate crashed the Bob Marley film premiere in Jamaica, it was reported, February 2024, so 1 month after, it was reported that Andrew Holness, the Jamaican Prime Minister, slammed them for drawing him into the royal family's internal issues in the first place. Here we go. Saying, the headline, I didn't expect to be drawn into UK internal issues. Anti-monarchy Jamaican PM Andrew Holness breaks silence on Harry and Meghan after their visit to the Caribbean country sparked a royal row. Mr. Holness told the Gleaner, quote, I was pleased and I was also very happy to see royals come in to participate in this major event. Unsuspecting, little did I know that I'd be drawn into some internal issues in the United Kingdom. But so it is, more publicity for Jamaica. So dude's trying to polish a turd. A turd's still a turd at the end of the day, let's be real here, right? But he only said that a month after they gate crashed the premiere. And now, over a year and a half later, we get confirmation that, yeah, they gate crashed that premiere. The Prime Minister didn't invite them. And he was that concerned of the optics of how it all looked and that it could have caused a diplomatic nightmare that he called the King or representative of the King. We don't know whether he spoke to the King directly or not, but he made a call at least to the palace and said, dudes, I didn't invite them. I don't want anything to do with them. They're not with me. They're not with me. It's essentially what he was saying, right? Yeah, I wonder if Hazza and Megzy now regret going to Jamaica and gate crashing that Bob Marley film premiere. And you know what? That's only one visit in Jamaica, right, that they made. I wonder, as the years go by, as time goes by, what's going to come out as to what really happened behind the scenes with Megzy and Hazza when it comes to their fake royal tours, specifically for what we know, for what's happened so far with Colombia and Nigeria. Oh, I think there's some skeletons in the closet. I think there's some dirt that's just waiting to be exposed when it comes to those fake royal tours. What do you guys think? With that being said, those watching live, whether on YouTube or on X, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you guys yet. We're going to jump into the bonus Hazza and Megzy story. Meghan Markle rages with jealousy as Prince Harry still has feelings for Chelsea Davy. Oh, yeah. We're getting into that for the bonus Hazza and Megzy story. New articles come out, so we're going to go through that. But if you haven't done so already, do make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe here on YouTube. If you're watching on X, make sure you're following me at Stef Alter Nerd for more misadventures of the gruesome twosome. Like, share, comment down below if you're watching on the replay, your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. Again, those watching live, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you guys yet. But for those watching on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters. All right, that was the third story for today's live stream. Wow, just wow, couple of thank yous before we jump into the bonus Hazza and Megzy story for today's live. Jesse581, thank you so much for your continued generosity. The $2.99 sugar buck saying, love you, Steph, big hugs. Thank you so much. Big hugs back at you, love. Thank you. The Big SM in the chat again. Hey up, Big SM. How's it going, mate? Saying, why didn't Hazza bring Archie to the King's coronation? Good question. Good question. Why didn't you bring Archie? Why hasn't he brought Archie and Lily to the UK privately? Why hasn't he done that? Just asking for a friend, right, guys? Sorry, I felt like I had something in my eye then. It's gone. We're done. Yeah, it's a good point, though. It really, really is. Also, as well, Princess Carol, thank you so much for your continued support for the leadership, saying, I wonder if it's a con to get back into get security and IPP status. Oh, you know that makes sense. You know that makes sense. Them begging to come back into the royal family. Oh, yeah. There's a financial aspect to it. There's a security aspect to it. There's a status aspect to it. Prince William is standing firm. He ain't going to let that shiz slide. I'm telling you that right now. But with that being said, let's jump into the bonus Hazza and Megzy story for today's live stream. Special thank you to everyone that was able to contribute to today's Super Chat goal. My goodness, that Super Chat goal, right, was achieved in record time. I do not remember a live stream where we achieved the Super Chat goal before I even started the first topic. You guys, thank you so much for your kindness and your generosity in that matter. It's going towards the mobile router, so thank you so much. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the bonus Hazza and Megzy story. Hey up everyone, it's me, Steph the Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Dose the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye. And oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this madness, shall we? Because it has been reported, Radar Online. Meghan Markle is still raging with jealousy. Why? Because apparently Prince Harry still has feelings for his ex, Chelsea Davy. Let's get into this, right? Do you believe this? I do, actually. So this is an exclusive from Radar Online. Prince Harry's still pining for the one that got away, and how Megxie was left raging by his gushing tribute to his ex in Memoir Spare. And so a source is claiming that Harry has never fully let go of Chelsea. Now, I believe that. Do you guys believe that? Let me know in the live chat if you actually believe this or not. Because like I said, I actually do. And so the source says she was his first real love and the one person he felt truly understood the pressures of his life. In Spare, he couldn't resist writing about her in glowing terms. Meghan found it humiliating to her. It felt like a slap in the face that he would gush over an ex in such a public way. And Harry now looks at Chelsea as the one who got away, as his life and marriage is a mess out in America, with him desperate to be welcomed into the folds back into the royal family. Now, in his autobiography Spare, Harry wrote, "I loved Chelsea's ease, that she wasn't complicated, didn't care what anyone thought. She wore miniskirts and high-heeled boots, danced however she wanted, drank tequila like me, and all of this made me really happy." Basically the opposite of a Megxie, right, guys? Now, the report then says that friends from that time say that Hazard often told them that Chelsea Davy was the best thing that ever happened to him, fueling speculation that he was going to propose to her, right? Now, another insider explained, and we know this, right, that Chelsea couldn't handle the press, couldn't handle the attention that came with Hazard and came with being linked to the royal family, and so she valued her freedom and privacy much more and broke it off in the end and ended it. That Harry respected that, but that deep down, the insider says, he always thought she might come back. Meghan knows this history, and it eats at her. Even now, apparently, it still eats at her. And so Meg's reaction to what Hazard wrote about Chelsea Davy in his book Spare, the source says she raged that it undermined her role as his wife. She wants to be the centre of his story, not a footnote to Chelsea. But Harry has this nostalgic streak, and Chelsea is the one who got away. I mean, what's an alleged narcissistic nutbag from Mel supposed to do, right? When the partner that she's with still may have feelings for an ex. This is the thing, right? I'm sorry, but Megxie, where does she get off? He has a history. She has a history, right? She's got exes. He's got exes, right? I've got exes. Mr. Fox has exes, right? I'm not jealous of his exes. And he ain't jealous of my exes. Why? Because I'm with Mr. Fox and Mr. Fox is with me. I love Mr. Fox and Mr. Fox loves me. We are very, very confident and content as a result in our relationship. If Megxie is indeed still jealous about a past relationship that Hazard had, right? That, to me, my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, screams that Megxie is not confident and is not truly happy in her marriage with Hazard. There's some trust issues going on there, guys, don't you think? Right? And so the article in the end goes on with this source saying that Harry is happiest with Meghan and the children, but the truth is he still pines for the simplicity he had with Chelsea. Yeah, that would make sense. Because it ain't simple with Megxie, that's for damn certain. That's a wound Megxie finds hard to forgive. Forgive? What is she to forgive on? How dare she? What the hell? I'm actually standing up for Hazard here. I can't believe I'm doing this. So what that he still pines for the simplicity he had with Chelsea? And fact of the matter is, the reality is, Chelsea's moved on, thank goodness. He's moved on with Megxie. They've got a family. They're married. What? Hazza still has to go on his hands and knees and apologise to her for what? Apologise to her for, at one point in his life, being boyfriend to Chelsea Davy? Piss off. What the hell? He's got nothing to apologise for when it comes to his past relationships with anyone prior to Megxie. Especially Chelsea Davy, as far as I'm concerned. Yet Megxie's expecting an apology for some reason about it all. Come on. Again, she's painting herself as the victim here. I am owed an apology because I'm the victim. Because Hazza had Chelsea Davy as a girlfriend back in the day. And he has some kind of residual feelings for her, blah, 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 blah. So what? He married you, lass. He sprogged children with you. Via surrogate or not, who knows? Just saying, right? Hey. There's nothing to be jealous of. She's jealous because Hazza had a prior history before her. Allegedly, if anyone's supposed to be jealous, really, of anyone's prior history in that relationship, it really needs to be Hazza that needs to be jealous of Megxie's alleged history with men, right? Let's put it this way. I wouldn't allow her on a yacht anytime soon. With that being said, on that alleged bombshell, if you appreciated this and you want more, and of course there's going to be more, then make sure you subscribe to join our Alternate Tribe here on YouTube. If you're watching on X, make sure you're following me at Stef Alternate for more misadventures of the gruesome twosome. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. What do you think to this if you're watching on the replay? For those watching live, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you guys yet. But for those watching on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters. All right, and that was the bonus Hazza and Megxie story for today's live stream. Thank you again so much to everyone that was able to contribute towards today's super chat goal. You guys are amazing. With that being said, I'm going to go through a few of your comments before we end today's live stream. Animalian01, hey up mate, how's it going? Saying, I think if Henry, Hazza, had managed to keep Chelsea, he would have been a vastly different person now. I totally believe that. I really, really do. Chris Mills says he's now banned from South Africa. I wouldn't be surprised. I really, really would not be surprised. Dolores Cowie says, did Chelsea Davy attend the wedding? Yes, she did. She did. She famously attended the wedding. She was shown on TV and everything. Mary Ruth Deal, though, I can't argue with this. Chelsea Davy was smart enough to have dodged that bullet. Totally. Shaz says, and this is a good point, that's why Megxie keeps saying to podcasters, that man loves me so much. Nah, sorry, he's still in love with Chelsea and she knows it. That might be the case, guys. That might be the case. Let's see. Susan Ebron says, oi, Steph, hope it's your fox, not her fox. Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah. My fox. The OG fox, okay? The OG Mr. Fox. There you go. Chris Mills, thank you so much for that very, very kind and generous £10 sugar bucks. Saying, I've been single for 30 years, but new people I meet and love to see them are my favors. Face and voice attraction. Fair enough. I like butts. I feel I want to sneeze. Apologies. Coming back from Italy to the UK, it is like, it always is a bit of a struggle for me because I go from a very hot climate to a very cold climate and my nose needs to catch up like no one's business. Hang on. There we go. And no, I'm not hiding it. I am who I am. There you go. This is how these live streams go sometimes. I'm human. There we are. My nose annoys the absolute shit out of me, but there we go. But yeah, I like butts. Like, when I met Mr. Fox for the first time, I had a sneaky look at his butt. For those that don't know, he originally was my private trainer, my PT, at a gym that I went to. And when I first met him, I took a queeky. I'm putting together quick and sneaky there. Queeky? Maybe that's a new word. Who knows? I took a quick, sneaky look at his butt, and I'm there thinking, all right, I like what I'm seeing there. And like the first thing I said to my best mates, my two like oldest best mates in the whole wide world, they were like, oh, what's he like? I'm like, he's fit. There you go. So for me, it's butts. Don't know why, it just is. It just is. There we are. There you go. And Megsy still wears Trevor's bracelet. I know. Pot calling kettle black, right, guys? Oh, head mod! Stef the alternate, gonna have Lewis on my channel tomorrow. Dude, yes! Oh my goodness, that would be freaking amazing. Hang on a minute. Let me see. I think I can I redirect? See what you've got. There we go. Sorted. Right. So, it's actually scheduled for tomorrow as well, isn't it? Yeah, like you said there. Sorry. So, guys, those watching live, stay exactly where you are because you're going to be redirected to Head Mod's stream that's going to be happening tomorrow. So when you are redirected, just make sure that you put it in your calendar, put it in your reminders, and that you tune in tomorrow for Head Mod's interview with my big bro, one of my big bros, Lewis Leckert from Nerd Report. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm actually going to tune in for that one. That's really, really cool. Monkey time. It is monkey time. Oh my goodness. For those that don't know, in this community, when we hit every 500 likes, we've achieved a monkey. So get your dancing monkey shoes on, because it's monkey time! Monkey time! Yes, thank you so much to everyone that's hit that like button. Keep going, keep going. It helps the community and the channel so much. Denise Tonga says, I started sneezing when you did. Yeah, do you know what I found out earlier on this year, actually? That I'm like my granddad in that regard. Like when he starts sneezing, he can't stop. And one of my aunties over there, she's the same. When she starts sneezing, then she can't stop. So they've basically gifted that to me. Thanks, guys! Thanks, guys! Appreciate that. Yeah. No, they didn't give me nice pizza or Molina Bianco biscuits or whatnot for life. No. For life, they gifted me with a dodgy freaking nose. Yes! Winner! Katrina says, do you read physical books or digital? More digital these days. I have a Kindle and I swear by it. Absolutely love the thing. And so I'm reading Entitled at the moment on the Kindle. Majority of my books I read on the Kindle. There's only a couple that I actually have the hard copy of. But the couple that I do have, those are books that mean something to me. So, and they're very, very special. So, there we go. Let's see. Let's end on this bombshell, guys. From Duchess Francis. Both of these people, Harry and Meghan, do not like themselves. It's so obvious because of the way overcompensate by bullying people, allegedly. They are two of the most insecure people I've ever seen. You ain't going to get any arguments from me, I probably the majority of this community as well, Duchess Francis. With that being said, thank you so much to everyone that's tuned into today's live stream, that's hit the like button, that's subscribed to the YouTube channel or followed me on X at Stef Alternate. Appreciate your faces. Thank you so much to everyone that's commented in the live chat, that stayed right to the end to keep me company. You guys are freaking awesome. Thank you. Special major thank you to all of you out there that, of course, was only able to do so. Send some very generous sugar bucks my way to allow me to reinvest back into the channel with the equipment that I'm going to be getting for Alternate Studios. Thank you so much. The reinvestment continues as ever. So thank you so much for that. Again, just as a reminder, next weekend there's not going to be any live streams whatsoever here on this channel. Make sure you head on over to my second channel, Political Nerds, because on Saturday I'm going to be live streaming from London with the Unite the Kingdom Free Speech Rally. We now have to, of course, peacefully and all that lot, fight for our future, fight for our freedom, fight for our British culture, our British identity, even our flag. Like, if you think I'm over-exaggerating, I'm sadly not. We are now being ruled by a totalitarian government. It's not even a government anymore. I call it a Labour dictatorship. And I think that is a more apt description to who's ruling us at the moment. And so, yeah, I've never been to a rally before. I've never been to a protest before. This is it. The time is now. The time is now to fight back against this tyranny again in a peaceful and legal way. Of course, I have to say that with, you know, the government and the Stasi monitoring us all on the internet right now. Any excuse they try and arrest us, even for words, it's insane. So yeah, the time is now to fight back peacefully and legally. And the best way to do it right now, as far as I can say, is what I'm doing on Political Nerds. So if you haven't done so already, please make sure you subscribe on my second channel, Political Nerds. But another way to fight back peacefully and legally is this rally in London on Saturday next week. And so, yeah, apologies that there's not going to be any live streams on this particular channel, Stef the Alternate, next weekend. But I hope you understand that this is important. This is important. And it's much more important than the dumbasses that we know as Harry and Meghan. So on that bombshell, you're still going to get your Daily Nerds Monday to Thursday. So look out for those videos. Give them all the support that you can. I appreciate all your faces. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful day, night, week, wherever you are in the world. And till the next time, you guys. Laters.